Hey, welcome to our broadcast of the Extra Mile. And we've got two really great guests with us. And we've actually got the Mike and Mike show from ESPN. Close. But we have Mike Hyde with Commercial Trader, who is the OEM manager for the Western United States. And we've got Mike Jennings, who handles the Eastern U.S. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome. This is a great way to spend a little time in COVID.
There you go, man. Yeah. And this is going to be so informative to all of our listeners, and we got a pretty good audience. I want to start out really with each of you, and Mr. Hyde, we'll start out with you first. Kind of give us a little bit of your background, and then, and it's okay to mention that college and that other college as well. So, Mike Hyde, go ahead.
Well, first, Mike. Since this is the Mike and Mike show, I have to say that Mike Jennings definitely is the comedian of this particular duo. And when you mentioned colleges, Ohio State, Mike's Michigan, kind of an interesting dynamic when we get together and give each other a little stuff here and there, but it's all in good fun. I'm based in Las Vegas, Nevada, and cover the western half of the U.S. We work directly with the OEMs, deepening our partnerships by supporting their business needs, creating opportunities to grow their brands, and we also work directly with the OEM regional managers. So what that entails is presenting at dealer meetings and then also in-market dealership visits to train dealerships on practices and the importance of digital advertising.
Well, I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan, and I live in Nashville, Tennessee now, and a proud graduate of the University of Michigan. And Mike and I are really very happy to join you today. And one of our goals during this COVID is we've been trying to schedule as many meetings as possible as we can to get away from our quarantine family and friends. So if you have any more of these, we're glad to join you. And Mike and I share responsibilities. We have the same roles. I work in the eastern half of the country, Mike the west. And we have over 1,200 franchise U-Car and truck dealerships, upward of 3,000 dealers overall. And we're really fortunate to work with a great group of dealers, the best dealers in the commercial industry. And our OEM partners that support them are really amazing. And our goal is really very plain and simple to help the dealers sell more trucks.
Oh, very good. And you guys are spot on too, because it's interesting. We're in a lot of dealerships, and the best dealerships, the ones that we think are most effective and efficient, always have Commercial Truck Trader.
Yes.
I mean, so I commend you guys on that. It's kind of an interesting time that we're in today, and you guys play a very positive part in that. So how is Commercial Truck Trader a great avenue in this time of, we'll call it despair and stress? And Mr. Jennings, I will throw that question to you.
Okay. Well, it's remarkable these times we're in today, but I really can't think of another industry that I'm more proud of and would rather be involved with. Every time a crisis rears its head, whether it's 9/11 or the 2008 financial crisis, it's just amazing to see the industry, the dealers, the strength, the creativity, the way that they respond. And it really makes me proud to be part of this industry and the dealers and the partners that we work with. When this first, the COVID issues first hit, all the OEMs launched incentives on pickups. There were 0% financing and 84-month financing that really helped a lot to drive some of the light-duty traffic. Now, that's a retail incentive, but many of our customers can take it as a retail delivery. And we kind of reached the low point on our traffic in mid-March. And since then, we've seen a steady growth. And it's just amazing how the dealers have reacted to these things. They've adapted quickly to address all these issues, from things like how they handle showroom appointments to vehicle cleaning and delivery. There's even a dealer in your neck of the woods, in the Jacksonville area, Ford dealer, I believe, moved his office outside to help deal with these issues. So dealers respond, and they respond well. And the biggest change that we've seen with the dealers, so Ken, is how dealers have shifted really into high gear the implementation of their digital tools and practices. Things like video chat, online chat, walk around videos. Most dealers have now enabled their online financing and trade-in tools, home delivery, pickup and drop off for service vehicles, highlighting e-commerce in all their communications. And they've done all these and more. And we've really seen a shift in the buyer behavior as well, in that we've actually seen a shift from phone leads to email leads. And so before COVID, our email leads were about 80% of phone leads. So there were more phone calls than emails. That's completely flipped now. And where the email leads are running about 20% more than phone leads. And that has implications for how the dealerships need to handle that. And that's, I think, is just really reflective of the consumer behavior that's changed as they begin to interact with all the digital tools and the way that customers want to connect with them.
Oh, wow. Great information. And Mr. Hyde, anything you want to add to that?
I think it's amazing how we adapt during these times. And as Mike mentioned, the different tools that are now being used online have really been shifted into very quickly. And it just shows how adaptable we are, not only as people, but, in the commercial business, to go from a business that primarily is used to dealing with customers coming into the store, now being able to transition to taking care of them at home or in their business to keep them safe, I think is just absolutely fantastic. It speaks volumes about, the resiliency of the humans that we have, in this industry.
Absolutely. And Will, you can attest to that as far as our virtual boot camps. We kind of reached out and said, hey, let's do these online and see what happens. And Will, how have those gone?
Well, we've done 3. I was actually just working on that list a few minutes ago, setting them up with their post stuff, and we had, I think, 67 attendees across 3 events. That's a really solid number, considering we were aiming for like 14 for each one, and we went well over. So, the shift has been incredible. And the one thing that I remind everybody is that, I guess, toward the end of March, you were seeing a lot of videos on the retail side of the business, a lot of commercials saying that, the retail side, we can come to you, we can handle all the paperwork and all that stuff, all the things that commercial sides of dealerships should have already been doing. So in my view, a lot of those activities now aren't going to be a differentiator from the commercial side to the retail side. The retail will go back eventually, I'm sure, but now they need to be doing even more. And I think that's a great way to sell a commercial truck trader to maybe any skeptical GMs or anything like that don't want to use it. That, hey, here's another advantage that we have available to us. Let's take advantage of that.
Well,
so, and I think Mike Jennings, that the shift to email is fascinating. It's not surprising, but it's very fascinating.
Yeah. Mike Hyde, if you were a sales consultant in a dealership, what would you be doing right now with Commercial Truck Trader?
I would make sure I would pour as much focus into my digital online dealership as possible. We always want to make sure that our brick and mortar dealership looks fantastic and all the trucks are lined up perfectly in a row, so that when people drive by, they see the units, maybe have a dump truck with the bed lifted so that everybody can see that as they drive by. Right. And we always think about our brick and mortar. But now, with digital being so important, we really have to take care of that digital dealership. Not only with a commercial truck trader, but also on your website, making sure, that you're putting your best foot forward. Prior to COVID-19, 80% of commercial research took place online. So now now that customers are not traveling to dealerships, as you can imagine, that number is greatly increased. And customers learn they can shop from home, the comfort and safety of their own office or their own home. And it's funny. I was at the beginning of this pandemic, I was chatting with Charles Bowles, and I was watching the news about COVID on television, and I was shopping on my phone for a picture for my house. And it dawned on me, this is obviously what our customers are doing, and all the data that we've seen come in has definitely proven that. So, and, many dealerships even gone the extra mile to deliver trucks without customers stepping into the dealership, which is amazing. So it's more important now than ever to make sure that your trucks are easy to find online. And, virtual retailing is an absolute must-have moving forward, and making sure that your trucks are being able to be found, in a search result, and those customers that are looking for trucks now are able to reach out to you is extremely important. Again, 80% before the pandemic, and that number has just increased, the amount of shoppers that are online looking for inventory.
Wow. And so roughly, and for either one of you guys, what are the actual numbers right now? How many searches? What's been the difference? And how are the dealerships reacting?
We have 1.5 million unique visitors searching our site per month, which is amazing still with the pandemic. With over 2,000 dealerships posting over 250,000 units online every day. So, I've been with the company now going on 16 years, and obviously I'm a little biased, but I fully believe that Commercial Truck Trader is the most relied on listings page in the industry.
We would agree. I mean, you guys have been great partners for us, and it's so easy when we go into a dealership. One of the first questions we ask is, what online tools are you using? And if they're not using you guys, then we start recommending right away, and it's just amazing. Mr. Jennings, anything to add to that?
Yeah, it was interesting to watch the traffic unfold as this event occurred. And, fortunately, for the first 2 months of the year before this COVID started, we were actually running about 20% up year over year in traffic. So we had the fall off, of course, that everyone did in mid-March. But what's been so encouraging since, I believe it was the third week of March, we've seen a steady march towards higher levels, more traffic, more leads. And, we're now in that 1.3 to 1.5 million range of unique visitors a month, which is up about 20%. So we've seen the dip, and it's been coming back strongly. So we're pleased with the trends we've seen, and I think the dealers are too.
Oh, yeah. A lot of the information we've been hearing from the quote unquote experts around the country believe that there's going to be a lot more working from home. There's going to be a lot more searching online than there's ever been before, because now people are being forced to use it that never did before. And so it's going to be interesting. I think you guys are well positioned.
Yes, I would agree.
Mike Hyde, question for you. A lot of times we go into a dealership and we introduce Commercial Truck Trader and say, we used that before. It didn't work for us. We know why it didn't work. And I guess my question for you, if you were advising a dealer about how to make sure that it works effectively, or a dealer that used it before and didn't, what would you tell that dealer?
The biggest reason that Commercial Truck Trader can be less productive for certain dealerships is lack of engagement. We have a very successful system, and we train all of our dealers on the best practices and how to take advantage of Commercial Truck Trader. The dealerships that follow those pointers are the ones that are successful. The ones that don't put the engagement in are the ones that tend to be less productive. And what I mean by that is, from the OEM, we receive most of the information. All of our OEM dealers are usually sending us feeds, and so those feeds come in. Sometimes we have to kind of adjust those a little bit, make sure that the right information is going into the right spot on our site. And, it's extremely important then for the dealership to understand that when you've placed a dump body on a chassis, that truck is not a chassis anymore. It's now a dump truck. Commercial buyers are looking for specific vehicles. When they're coming and looking on our site, they're looking for specific categories. So making sure that you're changing your categories, making sure that you're putting your upfit information. We even have a tool. It's very easy for the dealership to just send us their invoices, or at least send us some information, upfit invoices at commercialtrucktrader.com, where they could just send that information directly to us, carbon copy their sales rep. That information automatically is placed onto that truck as long as they combine it with a VIN. And then it makes it very simple for us to make sure that we're taking advantage of that now changed chassis in the case of a dump truck, for instance. And, making sure that right information is on there is what really makes everything successful. And again, mapping issues can be easily fixed, just working with the sales reps and our inside team back in Norfolk. So, last but not least, we also have a system called Paid. And when our dealers find success on our site, it's because they've truly enacted that Paid system.
Okay. And I'm going to let Mike Jennings elaborate on PAID. I know what they are, but I'm not going to steal your thunder.
Okay, PAID, that stands for, those are really in very simple terms what the dealers need to do to be successful on our site. Price, appearance, images, and descriptions. PAID, do PAID and get PAID. But there's something that's important in the background of that. And almost every shopper uses the web in their shopping process. I can't even imagine someone would make a purchase like a truck and not use the web in the process. But one interesting dynamic that's happened over the past 10, 12, 13 years is about 10 years ago, the average buyer shopper visited 5 dealerships before they purchased.
Wow.
Today, it's now an average of 1.2. So essentially, it's one dealership, and that means that's where they buy. So all those decisions that happen, that the customer is deciding what dealership to go into, where to buy, happen many times before there's an engagement. So that's why this online presence of the dealers is so important, and their inventory and their digital assets are really that silent salesperson for them. And they've got to put their digital assets to work. And there's a common thread in these paid listings, and that's really making the listings compelling. And you do that by listing a price, a realistic price, an MSRP, dealer discount incentives, your e-price, the appearance, the overall appearance, and using the keywords and the categories, dump truck, box truck, landscape truck, things like that. Images, you can't add enough images. We say 25, you can put 50, you can do video walkarounds, include videos, and then great descriptions. And when I'm thinking about descriptions, I think about one thing: what makes that unit special, and why? And you talk about the vocations. Is this a truck that's perfect for a plumber, electrician, an HVAC guy? And lastly, when I talk about what's special, what about the dealership? What's special about that dealership? It comes with a service manager. It comes with a parts manager. It comes with a commercial account manager. It's probably been in the community for 30 or 40 years. It has connections to upfitters, the dealers that are involved in the community. You've got to talk about all those things, because these are the things that are doing the selling when you're not.
That's perfect. And so
I wanted to add something. To that. Mike spoke about this right off the bat, that he can't imagine that anybody is not searching for a commercial truck online. And Google coined a phrase back in 2011 called the 0 moment of truth. What that basically means is that's when a shopper starts doing all of their research. They're starting to drill down on what type of truck they might need for whatever vocation they're in. And that 0 moment of truth is so important to latch onto, because we can't wait for someone just to come walking into the dealership anymore. We have to be actively putting our inventory on the web so that all those shoppers that are searching are able to find it. And one other thing I wanted to add too, it's an interesting stat learned off of Google's, well, that they're in business together, YouTube. YouTube said that 1/3 of all online activity is spent watching video. So what we're encouraging our dealerships to do now is walk around videos. Mike made a great point, sell your dealership. People buy from people, right? So it's not just the truck, it's the person that's also selling that truck. And in this time of staying at home, shopping from home, how do you sell yourself? Put a video, put a YouTube video, get a YouTube channel on your dealership, and then make sure that all of your inventory has an inventory video, do a walk around. But while you're doing that walk around, you're also selling yourself. You're giving that customer something else to latch onto, and that is buying from the individual that they're buying from.
Oh, absolutely. We're seeing that. And, it's interesting. One of our clients actually, who is getting paid by YouTube to do walkarounds. It's one of the guys at Keith Couch at Rush Truck Centers in Greeley, Colorado. It's amazing. And they're basic walkarounds. And what I'm hearing you guys say that if I put a description in that said beautiful white truck, that would not be enough.
Not quite.
People are doing pretty specific searches. So
Right.
if let's say Mike Jennings owns a landscape company, he's going to search for landscape trucks.
Yeah.
Well, I think a good way to sum that up with what you both said is that both by being on the video, or at least the voice on a walk around, and the more detailed you get on the truck, you're giving that vehicle a specific personality. And then if you're doing it right, you're adding your own into it as well. So you're humanizing that as well. Yeah. Instead of it just being yet another picture and yet another, resource to view this truck, there's far more to it than just that. And I would think as a consumer of the information, the more that you're able to look at and see there, and the deeper you're able to go, the more you're probably intrigued by, well, how's the sale going to go? Because if they're so thorough with it at the beginning, how thorough are they going to be making sure that they take care of me when the sale actually takes place?
Right. Great point.
What and Mike Hyde, I'm going to throw this at you, kind of a little bit of reversal here. So, either you guys can chime in. Any new changes in the last year in commercial truck trader, and anything we can expect coming forward in the future? And
Mike, why don't you handle that one?
Okay, yeah, we're always adding new features, Ken, and retargeting has been something that we've seen great gains on. And basically that's where someone comes to the dealership site to shop for a truck, they leave and they go to ESPN, and lo and behold, the truck or the dealership banner goes with them. And that's generated good results. We also have that from social retargeting to engage with all those customers. We have the coolest new tool that's called lead enrichment. And what this is, so a lead comes in to a dealership. Wouldn't it be fabulous if you could have all the information that customer was doing before he submitted the lead to you? Wow. Did he look for a Chevy? Did he look for a Ford? Did he look for a 250 or a 2500? Did he look for used? Did he look for new? So we provide all of that browsing history when the lead comes in, so you can literally go back in time and see what the customer is doing. And that's so valuable for the dealers to see how to engage with that customer by doing that. We've got a lead manager tool now, which is a little CRM, kind of a mini commercial CRM tool that they can use. We've recently added something called Make an Offer, where customers can make an offer to engage them. They can request a video. They can request a video chat appointment. And in the meantime, we're adding all these features. We're also working hard to drive more traffic and better quality traffic to the site all the time. So we're constantly trying to make it better.
Oh, that's awesome. Mr. Hyde, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, what's crazy is we think of our boomers, that are the business owners, right? We're assuming that that's the case, but there's a lot of millennial buyers coming into being business owners. So it's interesting, the boomers versus the millennials. So millennials spend an average of 69 minutes per day on Facebook. And you might think that boomers are spending less time than that, but they're spending 60 minutes. So it's only a 9-minute difference. So wow. Even though we're looking at new millennial buyers that are used to the technology, the boomers have definitely caught up. 48 minutes per day texting for the millennials versus 44 minutes for the boomers. So in all of the stats that we've seen speak heavily to the fact that, people are on their devices. When Mike mentioned 10 years ago, 10 years ago is about when the smartphone came out. Mm-hmm. So prior to the smartphone, when Mike was talking about the average consumer would walk into 5 different dealerships for making a decision and they're coming in only one now, that's because 3 hours a day are spent online for the millennial buyer on their phone and 2.8 hours per day for the boomer buyer. So you would assume that the boomer would be drastically less, but it's such a small difference, and it just speaks volumes to the fact that we all rely on our smartphones for shopping.
Oh, absolutely. We're in the technological age, but this pandemic has boosted that, I think, dramatically. And people find out how easy it is and how convenient it is and how informative it is. I mean, we always, when we go into a dealership, there's a couple things we do. And I actually did this before this call. I typed in various type of vehicles and locations, and 100% of the time, you guys came in at the top of the fold. I mean, so congratulations to that. That's incredible. And what that says, and what I like to do with the dealer when I take him in someplace is say, come up, what do you think a customer, just pick something out you think a customer would look for. I said, let's Google it. And I do that on purpose because I know you guys are going to show up. And it's an incredible selling point. I said, do this, now try it again. And you guys pop up at the top of the fold again. And I guess my question, you guys do an incredible job of SEO, search engine optimization. What are some of the things you guys are doing to make that happen? Because literally, I can't search for a truck without you guys popping up.
We've done a great job of hiring some brilliant people from the likes of Google, Microsoft, and LinkedIn. Got my tongue twisted there. And plus the sheer volume of the inventory from over 3,000 dealers nationwide, this really drives us to the top of the page. And we've been indexing on Google for over 20 years, which really helps us, index extremely high. The best way, as you mentioned, Ken, is just to check for yourself. So for any viewers or listeners at home, just get online and search, if you're in Phoenix, search utility truck, maybe flatbed in Dallas, maybe landscape truck in Tampa. You're going to find that commercial truck trader, like Ken said, is going to populate very high on that first page, one of the first few spots in the SEO section. So, just put your inventory in front of buyers all over the country. And I've stolen a phrase that I heard from you, Ken, and that is that commercial truck trader truly allows you to advertise border to border and coast to coast. And I think that just sums it up. You're now increasing your reach. So if you're currently dominating your local market, but you want to sell more commercial trucks, the best way to do that is to think about getting on Commercial Truck Trader, where people are searching maybe 500 miles out from their home. Just some of the success stories that we've seen from that are just absolutely, amazing. Just increasing that reach.
Oh, absolutely.
That allows you to invest in some of the weirder vehicles or the harder to get vehicles too, with the confidence that you can get them moved as well. That's something that is a big time selling point that we talk about. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because there are a lot of GMs that just don't want to get into upfits, or maybe they're a little nervous about putting that on the floor plan. But if you have a commercial manager that knows what they're doing, and they know how to spec the vehicle correctly, you will have a buyer on Commercial Truck Trader. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. It's amazing. So if someone listening wanted to reach you guys, Mike Jennings, I'll start with you. What's the best way to get in touch with you? And then Mike Hyde, after that, give me your information.
Well, because our email string behind our name says Commercial Truck Trader, I think probably the best way would be just give me a call or send me a text. I'm based in Nashville, Tennessee, so I'm in the Central Time Zone. And my phone number is 248-318-0772. And give me a call and reach out, and we'd love to hear from you and help out where we can.
Great, great. Mike Hyde?
I'm based out of Las Vegas, so I'm out west. My number is 702-575-8254. And again, like Mike said, we'd love to hear from anyone, and we can share some of those success stories with you if you'd like to hear some of them. Some of the dealerships that are able to say that Commercial Truck Trader works for them, give you some of the names of those customers, and we definitely love to share those stories.
Oh, and it's kind of interesting. I have found dealers in the middle of nowhere that the majority of their sales came from you guys. I mean, because they're not near a big city, and they're delivering coast to coast, and it's based on the reach that you get. And you're right. I always tell them, coast to coast, border to border. That's your marketplace, and it's absolutely amazing how well it works. Important question. Now, you guys are gonna have to get ready for this one. Are you ready?
Go.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Will there be a college football season? And if there is, who's going to win the Big Ten?
Well, I've heard the University of Michigan, my alma mater, say that there will not be football unless the students are back on campus. And I don't know if that's the position of the entire Big Ten, but I am tired of watching bowling from 2014. I need some live sports, and I think everyone would be thrilled and amazed to see college football anytime soon.
Oh, absolutely.
I agree. I think we all need sports. I've been watching some of the Korean baseball, and at first I was a little skeptical because there's no fans in the stands, but the game is still going on live on television. I think it's just absolutely amazing. And I'm not a NASCAR fan, but watching NASCAR come back was really cool. Obviously Tiger and Phil and that kind of thing. But I will say this: if there is not a college football season, then I'm sure Mike Jennings is going to be extremely happy because we won't have to worry about the game anymore.
Okay, well, you know what? Here, I'm going on record right now. Jim Harbaugh beats Ohio State the next time they play, whenever and wherever that is.
Will, you want to wrap us up, buddy?
Guys, this has been great. Always enjoy getting to see you at the various trade shows, and hope it's going to come again soon. Very informative, and thank you guys. Our relationship with Commercial Truck Trader as a whole is just awesome. We really, really appreciate that.
Yeah, and absolutely. And we're going to be actually we're in the process of planning some boot camps coming up, so we'll be sure and let you guys know, because we always like to have you guys as a guest. And you guys always do such a wonderful job for us, and we will continue to promote you. You're on our website. You can actually go to our website, click your logo, and it takes you right to Commercial Truck Trader.
Yep.
So we are fans.
It's hard to believe that the last time we all were together, we were all walking around Indianapolis at the convention center at NCEA. And it seems like just yesterday, but then you look at your calendar, it's 3 months ago. I know. Unbelievable.
It is crazy.
So it's great to spend time with you guys.
Yep.
Well, we will see you there next year, but hopefully before then, we are going to be planning some things. We're in the beginning stages of a program in Dallas, Texas, by the way. So we'll keep you guys in the loop on that. We're going to be planning more. So we're going to go at this like the market is ready and pin up and ready to go. So we cannot thank you guys enough, not only for your great expertise, but for your friendship as well. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Mutual. Thank you.
We appreciate it.